Hello, everyone. Look at all these beautiful women. Oh, you all are so gorgeous. This is just the very picture of joy. Welcome to the Joys of Living Great. I am Faye, of course, and I want to greet everyone who's watching us now, everyone who wants to join us later, and everyone who's in the replay. Even if you see the replay and you have comments, will you please add them in the chat? We will appreciate your comments at any time. Today, what we want to do, because this is a new project for us, we want to introduce ourselves and talk a little bit about what joy is and how it's expressed from each of us. And we may have to mute everyone except the person that is speaking to diminish the background noise. Oh, that's so much better. That's so quiet. Thank you. One more. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. That's perfect. That is perfect. Not that I like to hear myself, but the background noise will be distracting when every one of you are looking at this in the future. So I want to first welcome you to the Joys of Living Great. The Joys of Living Great is a movement. It's a movement that is prepared to share joy, share how to live joy, share what joy means in different situations, and to help you and all of the women of the world to find the joy that you need. I want to first of all thank you for taking a few minutes to be with us. And then we have a member in this group, in the Facebook group, who has posted more posts than any other person in the Facebook group. And let me tell you right up front, the Facebook group has grown so fast. Over one day, the Facebook group went from 0 to 100. And now we're almost at 300 participants. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and get your friends to all join the Joys of Living Great. Now, the person that I'd like to congratulate is a friend from Winter Haven, Florida. Those of you who know Florida, we attended the same school in Florida, and Marilyn Turner, that I know, Roberts, is the person that I want to congratulate, because Facebook notified me that Marilyn's post that says nobody can make you happy until you're happy with yourself was the #1 post in the Joys of Living Great this week. Congratulations, Marilyn, congratulations. And we all agree with that. Thank you so, so much. I'm going to start with introductions. And the first person that I'm going to introduce to you is Brenda Sawyer. Brenda Sawyer is the founder and CEO of Girls Walking with Integrity, Empowering for Destiny. So Brenda, if you would you tell us, give us an example of a tool that you may have used to empower these young women?
Well, yes, Faye, I equip young Christian women with strategies to move from pain to purpose. And that's through encouraging, empowering, and transforming their lives through biblical principles and teaching. So one of the events that I can recall is an exercise called Look in the Mirror, or Take a Look in the Mirror, something that we did. And we were dealing with one particular person who had low self-esteem. She had low self-esteem issues. And because of that, we did this exercise called Take a Look in the Mirror. And, you know, I told her that, she's fearfully and wonderfully created by God, and that she is, the apple of God's eye. And she was to look into this mirror and, pronounce over herself all of these affirmations, I am affirmations. And she could do that daily, however often she wanted to do it. And basically know that, just look in the mirror and say, I am the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. Different things like that, just so that she could become empowered through biblical scriptures and the teaching of God's word. So when she did that, well, she was really, it took a while. It was a gradual process, but it took a little while. But when she did that daily, it didn't take that long, just daily, she did that and looked in the mirror and told herself that she was not who other people thought she was. And she is who God says that she is. And she's fearfully and wonderfully created in his own likeness and image with his own DNA. So when she did that, that's where I think she found her joy, because she was really not joyful and not happy with herself. And I think that's where she found her joy, because she just looked like she started to bloom and blossom. I don't know, just through that.
So would you say that the post that Marilyn made about nobody can make you happy until you are happy yourself, and that really helped this young lady to be happy, that kind of goes together, right?
Yes, it does. Most definitely.
Yes, and I would definitely agree. That's wonderful. So those are the kinds of things that you do with the young ladies in the group that you work with. Letitia Jackson, Lady Letitia Jackson, is a pastor's wife. They formed a church in Tupelo, Mississippi. And Letitia, will you just tell us what did you find is the difference between the joy that you had when you had zero and the joy that you have now?
That is a great question, Ms. Faye. So the joy, comparing the two between having zero joy to now, is that me finding Christ is the difference in everything that I have. Without Christ in my life, I had no joy. Just looking for certain things, certain people, certain situations, just going to different places trying to find joy. I had none. We said it was happy. I was happy, but I didn't have joy. But now that I have joy, no matter what I'm going through, what I'm faced with, whether good, bad, medium, it does big or small, I will always have joy because God is joy. And so joy just means so much to me, because you have to have that on a daily basis in order to live a grateful life, to live a humbling life, to just have peace. Joy is everything. It's from peace of mind. It's from joy brings happiness. Joy brings love. And so just experiencing from before to now, it's just unspeakable.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. So you were happy, but now not only are you happy, but you have joy.
Exactly.
That's great. That's wonderful. So that has improved your happiness to the point where you do see a difference, right?
And exactly right. Exactly right. We often get it confused with happiness and joy, but happiness is just a feeling and emotion. Joy is something that you have. And when you have joy, you control everything around you.
Would you say that joy is deep down within?
It is.
Or it comes from deep down within?
It is. It definitely is. It's within you. And again, when you have God within you, it's there.
Okay.
It's there.
Yes, definitely. It is definitely a different feeling. Katrina Bonnell. Hello, darling. I am so happy to see you, and I want everybody here to know that Katrina and her husband recently celebrated their anniversary. And we're going to find out some more about that anniversary and more about her marriage trip, because she has already shared with us that that brings her joy. So Katrina, tell us, is this, what anniversary was this for you?
This was my 24th anniversary on
Oh,
June 13th.
congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. So, well, I mean, did you and your husband just find each other, or how did that all happen? And when did you realize that he was your joy?
Well, we did date for 7 years before we got married,
Mhm.
and got married we're older. Like I was 35 when I got married. So
Okay.
we're pretty serious about each other. We dated and everything was well, but we became such good friends. And that's what makes the relationship so good. We're friendly to one another. We like one another. We play games together. We laugh together. We could just sit at home and watch TV together. And we just find joy in being in each other's company.
Oh,
And
that's so wonderful.
don't fight or fuss, any no craziness. And that's what we got married. There'll be no fighting.
That's great. That's so wonderful. It's a good thing that you have learned over those 20 some years how to really have that communication between the two of you. And it takes both of you, it's a partnership in marriage anyway, but it takes both of you to have each other experience joy, right?
Yes.
That is so wonderful. That's great. Elena, Minister Elena Burns.
Hello.
Hello, dear.
Hello, hello.
Now, if you all notice and you're just joining us, this is the Joys of Living Great, and we're actually introducing ourselves. And we're introducing ourselves, and every one of us have a different way of experiencing joy. So you're listening so that you can hear that you may find one of us, two of us, or a few of us who have experienced joy the way that you need to experience joy. But understand that each of us, we know joy because we all know the Lord, but each of us will be experiencing our joys in different ways. Minister Elena has probably the toughest subject in her introduction because she's suffered sorrow. Her only child, and most recently her mom. But Minister Burns will never show to you the sorrow that she's been through. Minister Burns, would you want to share with us how you have gone through so much and the joy that you've experienced from it?
After you sent me the question, things started to, just unravel. But the main thing I can share is with loss. Everybody that I'm connected to, I try to show love and I try to give them their flowers while they're here. So when I lose someone, I focus on something positive. I focus on the good, and I have so much joy because I did the best that I could do for them while they were here. So I have so many good memories when I lose people. So I don't really have time to be sorrowful because I'm too busy enjoying being a bright light in their lives when they were here. So I focus on the good.
Great.
On that, oh, this one gone, that one gone, because I know we're all going to leave, but we have to truly show people that we love them and let them know that they're valuable in our lives and give them their flowers. Like my mom, it was sort of like an assignment because that's the work that I'm called to. I have to go to hospice bedside, so it was more like an assignment. But I know I followed the Bible principles because I honored my mother while she was here. in any way possible. So when God called her home, it was well with my soul because I honored her. I showered her with love. I mean, I have beautiful memories, about the things that made her laugh, and just the little things I know she liked. I would bring them home sometime, and just to see the joy on her face. So that's what keeps me. And like the other young lady said, because we're in Christ, I have joy in the midst of every storm that I go through. So that makes the difference. But that's how I continue to go forward. And he uses me that way because everything that we endure is for us to minister to somebody else. So I have to help so many people with their losses. So, it keeps
Oh,
you
that's
focused.
wonderful.
Yeah.
It's good that you recognize what your purpose is
Mhm.
and you carry out your purpose
Mhm.
very well. You are not disobedient, you obey, and you do what you need to do. So throughout that, no matter what you're going through, you will have that peaceful joy.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
Crystal L. I have to introduce her to everyone as my prayer warrior. So if you need prayer, this is the person you're going to call. All of us, each of us can pray with you at any time, but this is the prayer warrior right here. Miss Crystal L. She has become such a dear friend, such a good confidant. Crystal, tell me or tell us, why do you do what you do?
Hi to everyone. First of all, I do what I do because I couldn't get away from it. Let me just say that I've worked with children, families in some way or some combination or another since I started working. And I saw, okay, I recognized after it kept happening, I said, okay, this is something I'm supposed to be doing, but I found that I had a rhythm in it and that I was compelled to keep going. I was compelled to learn whatever I had to learn to help people. I mean, I've worked with families in every aspect, you name, from domestic violence counselor, child support, the DCP&P litigations and juvenile, listen, you name it. I've done it as probation officer. And now I'm thankful because I prayed, I asked God, I said, listen, God, this is great what I'm doing. I said, but I would like to help people before they run into the police and run into litigation in the court. Is there some way, Lord, you can just kind of set me so I can help them beforehand? Well, listen, thanks to Katrina Bondell, that thing sat in my lap. She gave me a little connection to do what I do now. I'm a master's level therapist now. And what I do is I work with young people from the age of 3 till 20, 21, and basically help them. I've worked with some serious cases, and the joy in it all is when I see them get that light bulb moment. And I'm like, God, and usually it happens when God gives me something to give to them and that thing works, the joy's there, but it just gets ignited all over again when you see them get it and that you start to see things turn around. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a session where I had to kind of turn my screen off, man, because the tears just started flowing. I'm like, God, this is working, so that's joy. And I know the joy I have, I can share. And then because at the beginning, sometimes in my services, when I first meet these families, they're like, yeah, whatever, this ain't gonna work. And when it works, and then their whole countenance change, they smile, you see the relaxation, no more edge, the whole thing. I said, God, this is you. And it just makes me strengthened even more. That joy is a strengthener. And I see how it's contagious. When you carry that thing, it's contagious. And you can give it to somebody else and watch them climb up and get stronger too. So it's just a blessing. This is why I do what I do, because I get to sit one-on-one and actually see this thing work.
That is so wonderful. You're awesome. You really are. You are truly, truly Awesome. And I thank you for spreading all the joy with all the families that you do. And there are people that you have not met yet
Yes.
that you will be sharing joy with.
Yeah. I praise God.
Now,
for that.
last but not the least person, this is like going to be my right arm person over here. Lady Regina Smith is Bishop Smith's wife, but I'm stealing her to be my right hand person and the Joyce of Living Great. How are you, Lady Smith?
I am well. I am doing very well today. You know, like all of us, we have our challenges. I had a challenge today, but you know, I still have joy.
That's great. That's wonderful. That's the spirit. That's the way we all have to be. So now tell us, because I know that one of the things that you do is you actually comfort and take care of a parent. Is that right?
I do. I do. I am so blessed to have my mother. She's the matriarch of our family. She's 89 years old, years young at this time. I have to say young because she is has such a young, vigorous mind. But her birthday is in October of this year. If the Lord allows her to see it, she'll be 90 years young.
Oh, God
And
bless.
it's a blessing to be in the position as Elena spoke earlier. It's a blessing to be able to honor your parents in whichever way you can. And just to see her independence at this age and this level, it's amazing. I laughed with her today. She wanted a scooter so that she could go up to the local strip mall where the CVS is and all those other little stores. But I said, no, you know, it's too small, other little things. And I thought about purchasing her a golf cart. But I could visually see her getting in that golf cart and going on the turnpike. So I told her today, I said, you know, Mom, I think I'm going to change my mind about that golf cart because just knowing and, you know, seeing her mind just kind of wondering, she says, no, I wouldn't do that. But to see her even thinking about, yes, you know, I probably could get on the turnpike. That brought me great joy.
Maybe not the turnpike, but I could see her on one of those highways.
Yes, down US 1, the main, wherever her mind just says, I could go to this place, I could go to this place. I could see her doing it. And, you know, what we should do is realize that as we grew, our parents also grew. And in their growing, they have to develop a sense of who we are today because we saw them, we saw our parents through our eyes. And that's where we saw the demonstration of the love just through a hug, a positive reinforcement, building up our self-esteem so that we can be the productive adults that we are today. And I could say my parents are one of the reasons why I have great joy today because they introduced me to a life of knowing and loving the Lord. And that is the greatest joy that I could have ever experienced.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That is so great. And I was going to ask that question. You answered it for us. That's wonderful. So you know where you found your joy, and you are doing what you need to do to give the joy to your mother now.
Yes.
Now that you know you need to help her. So this is another situation. It's a life situation. So what you as our listeners and our viewers have heard are different ways that we are actually sharing joy, or the different ways that joy can be shared. So one basic thing, however, is joy is love. Out of each one of the comments that you've heard, it's love. it's giving love, it's being loved, it's sharing love, it's thinking love. So when you're doing that, you will definitely get through every situation, no matter what it is. Now, what we'd like to do is give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. Does anyone have any questions? Were there any questions in the chat? Or you can unmute yourselves and ask a question. Does anybody have a question? Oh, you ladies were so great. Nobody has any questions. You told them everything they need to know. There are no questions. This is great. This is wonderful. This is truly awesome. So now we implore you to join our Facebook group. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're on Facebook, just go to the Joys of Living Great. The Joys of Living Great. Make sure it says the Joys of Living Great. Join the Facebook group and then invite your friends to join the Facebook group as well. We promised that we had an exciting announcement to make. So I am going to just ask who wants to be the person to give the exciting announcement. Suddenly nobody's mic comes on. Okay. So listen, this is the exciting announcement. How many of you, let me ask, how many of you actually are using television devices, either your regular TV, your phone, your computer, whatever, where you are actually streaming shows? How many of you are actually streaming shows at the moment? How many of you watch movies on Roku? How many of you watch sports on Amazon Prime? How many of you choose the free movies on Amazon Prime? Because that's what I always look for, the free movies. And how many of you actually watch or stream shows, sessions, series on Roku or Hulu? Is it Hulu?
Hulu.
Hulu. Well, the Joys of Living Great will be a show every Thursday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be live and you can watch it, and the link will be in the Facebook group. So you can watch it live and have an opportunity to comment, because each show will be about a different part of joy and how we're living joy. So you may hear about marriage, you may hear about families, you may hear about young adults, you may hear about sorrow, you may hear about business plans, you may hear about diseases, you may hear about being healthy, you may hear about anything that's going to bring you joy, because it is for you. Our show will be streamed on all of those medias that I mentioned through Win-Win Women. And Win-Win Women is designed to empower women, not only here in the United States, but their shows are streamed. And since they are streamed, they're currently being shown in 9 countries. So look for our shows. If you don't get them there, you can go back and watch it in the Facebook group, which is why you need to be in the Facebook group. And you can go to our website, which is currently under construction. But eventually you'll be able to go to the website and you'll see past recordings of the shows. But if I were you, I want to be on the show live. So let us know if you have any comments when you do get to watch the replay. We're about to wrap it up. Does anybody else have anything else that you'd like to add today?
I'd like to add to our listeners and our viewers today, as we're growing, we will continue to grow our audience, and we're looking to reach people, as Faith said, all over this world. But we want to also connect you with we have also a newsletter that's coming out. So if you want to come, please drop your email address in our Facebook or go to our email address, and we will contact you if we have any special events that pop up or anything that we think a subject matter that you may want to look forward to, because we have an exciting one planned for next month and into August, just to prepare parents and students for returning to school, be it elementary, senior, middle, high school, or college. And we're also going to address those who are adults who are going back to school to continue their education and higher learning at all different levels, whether it be associates, bachelor's, master, doctorate. We're going to be here to assist you and give you all the tools and all the knowledge that you're going to need. So this is a program you don't want to miss. And as Faye said, it's great that you will tune in to us live, because you have the opportunity of submitting your questions and perhaps we can get you an answer right then. If not, if you haven't, if you're watching a rebroadcast, still submit your questions. And even through the email, if we need to get in contact with you to forward that information via email, we will do that. But we're looking for it to continue to grow, and we're looking for you to participate and be a part of this growing movement that's happening.
The joys of living great.
Yes.
You remember that. You remember everything. The email address is info@thejoysoflivingreat. That's info, INFO, at thejoysoflivingreat. Join that Facebook group, because that's going to keep you connected. We're so happy to be here with you, and thank you so much for joining us. I thought I had a question in the chat, but it wasn't a question. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Regina, for bringing out all of the things that we're looking forward to doing. Have a great week, ladies. We'll see you next Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.